Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Doku has some things to say about various things, but first of all, Goidcoin. Why aren't you buying it? If you don't buy it soon, we may have to kill this dog. You can't see this dog, but it's a cute dog. We're going to shoot it with Goidcoin if you don't buy Goidcoin soon. All yours, Doku.
God, when did we become the Taliban? I'm allowed to say that, right? It's allowed on if it's allowed on Twitter, it's allowed on YouTube, right?
I
Right?
give a crap where it's allowed. I'll say it if I want to.
Fair enough. Yeah, guys, you're making Goid Coin sad. Why aren't you buying Goid Coin?
Yes. Goidcoin wants you. It needs you.
It wants to be abused.
Oh, yes. He enjoys it. It even brings its own whip, if you ask nicely. Oh, we have to have a. If you're going to do a merch store, you're going to have to make a Goidcoin whip. You know that, right?
Oh, BDSM Goid Coin.
Yes. That is now working in my head. I don't know about anyone else, but it's working for me.
High heels, leather, and lace.
Yeah, no, we know that's what you're wearing, but I'm talking. Oh, crap! I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, ignore that, people. I didn't say that at all.
We're off to a great start. I love it.
Hopefully, it's going to keep it light right now because you've got stuff to say that ain't so light.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that at the end. So speaking, let's start off with good stories.
Yes.
So have you heard? Are you familiar with Sunman?
Nope, never bloody heard of it, but apparently it's a good thing as far as you're concerned.
So I was not aware of this either. I heard about it through Clownfish TV in one of their videos. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
But so I guess there was a mom whose son liked He-Man, but he was kind of upset. He's like, "There's no black kids in He-Man." Like, so instead of doing what all the idiots in the comic book and industry in Hollywood do, she made her own called Sunman.
Well, that's going to confuse them. Yep.
You know, honestly, I applaud this. She made her own and called it Sunman, and she did it for her kid. And Mattel actually adopted it. They're actually doing a toy line with it. So it's like, you know what? I applaud you. Good job. That's what we've been saying this whole time. Like, you don't need to co-opt things. You can easily make your own. It just takes a tiny, tiny bit of effort.
Yeah. No, I agree. Good. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad that people are finally doing that shit. I really am.
Well, apparently this happened when like the original run of He-Man was going. So it's like, wait a second. You have random mom who literally took the advice of modern day, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book, idiots. You know, if you don't like it, go make your own.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she did. And Mattel has now adopted it. Like, you know what? That's how you're supposed to do it. Like, you don't need to co-opt things. You don't need to race swap people. You don't need to do any of that nonsense. You can, if a mom can do it because of the request of her kid, you sure as hell can do it as an industry professional. I don't want to hear any excuses at this point in time.
You're not wrong.
But no, I heard about that and I was like, you know, that's actually a good story. Like, I'm actually glad to hear that. It's one of the few rays of sunshine in this dark and dreary reality that we live in.
Really? I'm not allowed to do puns, but you get to.
It was not an intentional pun, damn it.
Yeah, sure. Does anybody believe him? Type one if you do. Oh, look, no one's typing. Uh-huh.
It was not intentional. I don't care what you say. Speaking of people co-opting stuff, did you hear that they want the new Indiana Jones to be female?
Do you know, it depends on how they do it. It really does. If they're actually doing it as Indy's daughter, I am 100% behind it. If they're doing it as Indiana Jones is now female, no.
See, that's kind of where I'm at as well, because I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, this is doomed to fail. They're doing another gender swap. It's like, well, it depends on how they do it. Like you said, if it's Indiana Jones's daughter, I'm not going to mind it that much. You're basically just giving me Tomb Raider 2.0.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, why they need to do this? Yes, it is Lara Croft. I agree, Sharati.
Yeah, see? No one's going to complain about it.
No. So why don't they just say Indiana Jones is the originator to Lara Croft? It would just save time and bloody effort. We all know that this is the case, all right? This isn't like, oh no, Lara Croft is connected with Indiana Jones. Well, bloody well should be, even if it isn't. Okay, it really should. And good God, could you imagine the original Indiana Jones, and then they do like the first half of the original Indiana Jones, then it cuts to Lara Croft dealing with the shit show that came from the Indiana Jones thing. You know, like in the first one where he got that statuette out of the temple. Yeah.
Yep, I'm tracking.
Yep. Now imagine if she actually had to go and take it back because it was causing. I know this we're going a little bit with modern shit, but because it's causing ecological disasters because it's not where it's supposed to be. Now that would be a good thing. Now she's got to break back into temple. You know, tomb raiding. Subtle hint there, and she's actually got to put it back. What do you think?
I wouldn't mind that at all. And again, that's to touch on what the last room was about. God forbid anybody say that I'm afraid of strong female women. It's like, nah, dude. Ripley, Lara Croft, Jill, Claire. Dude, my favorite character. You can ask him about this one. My favorite character from the Resident Evil franchise has always been Claire Redfield. Like,
Cool.
but no, I really wouldn't mind it. Like, as long as it's done organically and it doesn't feel forced and it actually fits into the timeline of events and it's not a complete retcon, dude, go for it. I really don't care. Like, congratulations, fucking Indiana Jones had a daughter. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let me go watch some Tomb Raider. I'm perfectly
Yeah.
okay with this.
Well, right. You know, there was that girl, well, the woman that was in charge of the inn somewhere in the Alps or whatever, and she sat there getting drunk with the natives. Do you remember that bit?
Vaguely.
Okay. Well, him and her are supposed to have got together at the end of the story. What if he knocked her up and she had that child? I mean, let's be honest, okay? Indy has probably got more money. Well, okay, he has more money sense, but he literally has probably got more money than sense. All right. There's no reason for him at the end of his career that he bought a house over in England. You know, it's not like England's got the National History Museum. Oh, that's right, it has. And so that's why Lara Croft was brought up here, got that accent, and has gone from there. It actually makes perfect sense, or at least it does to me. Maybe
And
I'm getting it wrong.
and the thing is, there's a lot of good ways that you could do this type of plot line. I hope Hollywood. Let's just assume that we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they're going to be creative with this and not completely, just tokenism for the sake of tokenism because they think it'll sell.
Yeah, yeah,
But like, you know, Indy's daughter is going out looking for Indy, and they get caught up in typical Indiana Jones adventure. And at the end,
yeah,
she just gives him a letter and is like, "Oh, who's your mom?" She's like, "Oh," says the name, and then leaves. It's like
yeah,
that's his daughter. Like, doesn't even need an introduction. It's like
yeah,
that's the reveal at the end. Like that was his daughter. It's like it makes sense now.
yeah. I'm okay with that. I really am. And if they actually get a young actress to do it, we can have her in like her mid to late teens, starting the Lara Croft idea, because that's the whole point. That part of it with the storyline with Lara Croft, it was how she first started. Well, there you go. You can actually have her meeting up with the man who is her dad. I think it'd make a good film, personally. And in all fairness, it's got the name and recognition factor of Indiana Jones and the name and recognition factor of Tomb Raider. You put those two together, you are laughing your ass off.
Honestly, if Hollywood can't make money by essentially making an Indiana Jones morphs into Tomb Raider type film, I yeah, Hollywood is dead if they can't make money off of that. Because, like, really, man, do you need any more? Like,
It is almost, you know what? It's like your government, it's printing money. Good. Come on,
uh,
that was good shot.
It is, as much as I hate to admit it. Money printer go burr. But no, seriously, if you can't make that work,
Yeah.
and the sad part is, they'd find a way to mess it up.
Oh god, yeah, easily. I mean, I could actually write the story for that now. My head is doing what it usually does and is starting to work out how I would do this, by the way. Just letting you know. I don't even remember the name of the woman from the first Indiana Jones, but I'm still writing the storyline. I really am.
See, that's the funny part is we've basically already built out the backbone of what this movie would be, and we're just two people on YouTube that like to play tabletop RPGs from time to time.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about the talent in Hollywood?
What talent in Hollywood?
Damn good question. What do
Okay.
what do they pay these people for?
I don't know. Well, actually, they pay for them for sniffing their asses. It's like, oh, your fart smells like roses. And that's all they bloody do. Shirati, yes, you could. I mean, honestly, hon, how easy would that be to write this as a story? It is literally writing itself. You practically just have to stand there, open your mouth, and there's the story.
Honestly, I've only written a screenplay once, and it's been a very, very long time since I did it, but I'm fairly confident I could have the screenplay done in a month. Like, I stand by that statement.
Yeah,
Why isn't Hollywood
yeah.
paying me $100,000 a year so I can go buy my farmhouse? Damn it!
Hey, Oz.
But the thing is, you're right though. That type of story would work as long as
Hmm?
you don't try to inject politics into it. As long as you don't try to make it something cringy or woke or anything like that. Like, just give us a good story, give us a
Yeah.
good Indy's daughter, give us a good end to the Indiana Jones franchise. Because let's be honest, Harrison Ford is surprised that man's still walking, but more power to him. I mean, I'm not even saying that to be mean. It's just considering
No.
all the stunts that he's done and how long he's been working in the industry, like, dude's holding up pretty damn well.
Oh, yeah, nothing but respect for the guy. I mean, what I'm saying with stories and whatnot, I agree with you. Put the politics. Seriously, just ditch the whole damn thing. Unless the story itself, hey Susan, unless the story itself is a political story, which in all fairness this isn't by any stretch of the imagination. Hell, I've already put a little bit of politics in by saying about the global devastation. But again, I'm not talking climate warming or any bollocks like that. I'm talking literally the statue was sitting there because it was holding the cap on I don't know, a volcano somewhere underneath the temple.
Well, exactly. It's a plot point. It's not there to preach
Yeah,
politics. It's
a
there to
MacGuffin.
create it's there to create a situation that the protagonists have to overcome. Like,
Yeah,
and we don't even have to go with the stereotypical Nazis are the bad guys, trope.
no, no,
I mean, you could throw them in there for good measure, but
true.
it's
Well, let's see. We're looking at 1930s him, age of the girl going into the 40s, into the early 50s. Actually looking at Russians.
you know, I wouldn't mind seeing some like Command and Conquer Red Alert style. The Nazis are done, but all their tech, their occult stuff, their archaeological findings all got captured. And YouTube, don't hate us. There's an actual term for this. I'm not being mean or anything. The Rape of Berlin,
Mm-hmm.
where the Red Army came in and destroyed a bunch of shit, stole a bunch of shit. Like, maybe they ran across some documents, and maybe now it's commissars going after stuff instead of your stereotypical Nazis. Like,
It would work, wouldn't it?
it actually really would. Like, see, the
You're
thing is,
seeing it, aren't you, in your head? Are you
we,
picturing this film? Because I am.
we already have a decent elevator pitch, and we're only what, like 15 minutes into this, maybe 10 minutes into this conversation,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's still better than anything Hollywood's put out in the past. How long? What's the last? Decent question. What's the last good Hollywood movie you saw?
And by the way, 99% of people would go the Marvel superhero shit. No, that just stop it. No, I'm actually
Marvel's dead.
looking. Yeah, I'm actually going back to the early 2000s at best. and I'm really scraping when it comes to that. I don't bloody know. Honestly. Oh, hello, Shorty sent me something. Oh my god. I'm sending this to you, Doku. This actually is really kind of cool. Copy image, make sure it worked. You'll want to be posting this once I've sent it to you. Trust me on this one. Thank you, Shirati.
Okay.
Okay, it's coming over, mate. It's just that picture. Yes. Okay.
All right, give me a
We'll
moment.
see. Yeah, oh yeah. You're doing it straight away. Trust me, you're gonna love it. It's perfect.
Let me
Yeah.
check this real quick. And
Holy crap, eh?
all right, let me
Uh-huh.
go ahead and open that link real quick so I can share with the class.
Yep. And he is the person that does the sharing, people. Just is what it is.
It does write itself. See, we're not the only one that's had this idea, I'm sure. Well,
No. So why haven't they done it?
good.
There.
I guess because one's a Sony property.
So what? It'd be a good story.
I mean, dude, knowing Sony, all you have to do is toss them enough money.
All look, all that should bloody matter is the story. Who cares who owns it?
But it's again, just I know it's a cosplay, but it's so fitting. It works too perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna have to petition Sony and Warner Brothers. Like, can we please make this happen, please?
But like I say, just throwing some random ideas out. Right there is a story waiting to go. And why is it good? Because it's just a pure action popcorn story. You get to sit there. Oh no, they probably. It wouldn't surprise me if they actually already are planning that, Susan. I'll be honest with you. No, but this sort of thing, okay. As long as people stop putting the politics into it and just go with, wouldn't it be exciting if? And I think that this would work. I really do.
Again, it's supposed to be an action flick with maybe some cool, like, little archaeological Easter eggs, and a charismatic dude, a charismatic chick. They both look decent, regardless of their age. And here you go do things. Poke them with a stick. Like, go do action stuff.
Yeah.
It would work. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely not. And see, something like this would work perfectly. It's not like trying to turn 007 into a chick.
No. Yeah, you heard about that then, huh?
Yeah, I did. And honestly, I'll be blunt. With the exception of Casino Royale, I've checked out of the Bond movies because there hasn't been a decent one. I know there's probably going to be a few people who are like, "How dare you don't like Skyfall?" It's like, I don't know, man. It was kind of mediocre, I guess. Like, it wasn't bad. It's just wasn't good. It's
Right.
just my opinion.
Now to get myself in trouble. I gave up watching the Bond stuff at Casino Royale. I watched about 30 seconds of it, went, what the fuck is this shit, and gave up.
Honestly, it doesn't get good until like the last 1/3 of the movie. Like the final act is really good, but it does take a minute to get going.
Dude, Casino Royale has already been done before.
Oh yeah, it has. You have a point there.
Okay. That was the problem I had with it. I was expecting a remake of that, and then it was shit. So I was like, I'm done. Fuck you. Not interested.
Oh, that's
And
a
that's
fair
it.
criticism. And it's sort of like trying to I mean, if you're gonna do like remakes or reimaginings, at least do them well. I think Casino Royale was fairly well done, but if you've already seen what it's originally based off of, I can see why you'd be like, nah, I've already seen this movie once before. I'm out.
One sec. Oz, you are so right. He is not Bond. Daniel Craig is not Bond, and I agree utterly. I mean, could he do the adventure hero, etc., etc.? Yes. Is he Bond? Is he balls? Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. No.
Now, fair enough. I mean, honestly, the last Bond movie I saw, and yeah, I'm gonna show my age here, that I actually liked was Goldeneye. and not because of the video game.
So that helped, right?
Yeah, it's not because of the video game. Don't get me wrong, I like the video game, but let's be blunt, the video game pulled from Man with the Golden Gun and
Yeah.
also Live and Let Die, and then also Moonraker. So, they called it GoldenEye, but it was a hodgepodge of a lot of different Bond movies wrapped up into one game.
Yeah. But again, a proper working Bond that doesn't have, oh, look, politics in it would make a good story.
It's almost like people really don't want to be preached to in their escapism.
Yeah.
Hence the term escapism.
Shirati, I agree. I miss Sean Connery. Yes. Same. I mean, if you were going to say James Bond and get an image of him in your head, it is Sean Connery. The fact they gave it to Roger Moore, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. But I'm sorry, Sean Connery, he is Bond. Let's
It's
ignore
hard.
the rest.
I don't know who you could actually really cast in the modern day to fill that role because there's only one Sean Connery. Kind of like there's only one Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Although, what's his name? Who's the guy that was in the most recent Blade Runner movie? Ryan Gosling? Was that it?
Yep, sounds right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he actually did a good job playing a replicant. Like I thought his performance in Blade Runner 2049 was actually really underrated.
Okay.
But also, a lot of people really hated Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was good, but I guess I'm the outlier in that one.
I still haven't watched it. I keep intending to watch it, and then something else comes up. So no fucking idea.
I would definitely suggest you watch it because we tend to have similar tastes, and I thought it was good, so you'd probably enjoy it. But I will give you one disclaimer before going into it.
Go on.
It's long, and you have to pay attention to it. Like there's some scenes are drug out a little bit too long. Yeah, they could have cut some stuff down, but it's one of those movies where even from the very beginning, everything is done with a purpose. Like it's a movie that really does kind of want you to think. It's not
Yeah.
it's not really a popcorn flick. And I've heard that complaint about 2049 a lot, where it's trying to be too intellectual or too clever with itself. And it's like, yeah, okay, fine, fair. But to be honest, Blade Runner, in my opinion, was always sort of one of those movies that was asking a philosophical question. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
You've seen both. Yeah.
Yeah, by both you mean the 5 different cuts of the first movie plus
You know what I
2049.
mean. Yeah. Would you say that it was worth the effort? Assuming that I really liked Blade Runner, and I did. Okay, that is just a glorious freaking film. Is it worth it, in your opinion?
I would say yes. I
Okay,
do
then.
think it builds upon what the first movie kind of set or what it established in terms of asking that question, like what does it mean to be human, more human than
Yeah.
human, that whole do androids dream of electric sheep, which is directly referenced in both movies actually.
Of course.
But it respects the source material. Does it expand on it? Yes. Does it necessarily need to? Probably not, but what they do with the original premise and how they expand on it, it's not spitting on the face of what the original movie did. So,
Good. Okay.
yeah, I would definitely say it's worth the 2.5 hours to take the time to watch it, even if the middle
Oh,
act is kind of slow.
I have no problem taking my time watching that stuff. I mean, I apart from the fact that I would take the piss out of Lord of the Rings as often as possible, especially if you're thinking Jacob, I know. Especially if he's around, I can't help but take the piss out of it. But I'm actually okay sitting there and watching it. I really am.
And that's part of the reason I didn't have an issue with 2049. Even
Yeah.
again, like I said, the middle act is kind of slow. It takes its time,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a reason for it, so I get it. And it does have a solid beginning, middle, and end. And again, it's a decent spiritual successor. That's the way I would. It's not a sequel; it's a spiritual successor.
Yeah.
And And again, once the movie finishes, it's a conclusive ending. It's not the thing I hate about most anime that are airing within the past year. It doesn't end on an open-ended freaking cliffhanger.
Okay, yeah, fair. Okay.
Also,
All right.
the soundtrack to that movie is just as good as the original. I mean, it sounds like it came straight out of the 80s, which thank God, because that's one of the best things about the original film was that
Oh yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah. But in all fairness, cyberpunk is an 80s feel, okay? There is no two in it. You can sit there and go through the various punks and put them to years, but cyberpunk is the 80s. And I know it's supposed to be the 2080s. Sorry, yeah, the 2080s, but it is a 1980s period. It really is. That was the natural time period for it. The right music, the right clothes, the right colors, everything worked for cyberpunk.
Oh, I don't disagree at all. I'll put it to you this way:
Mm-hmm.
it's not the Tron. Was it?
Oh, no.
I can't even recall that a reboot or a remake or a sequel. I don't know what that most recent Tron movie was, but it's not that.
Yeah, no, with Tron. Wow.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
it's not cyber contemporary. It is still very much dystopian cyberpunk.
good. I mean,
With
that is the whole point of it. Okay, you're supposed to feel like you're in a dome. The reason it's raining is that's not necessarily water dripping on you. And there's nothing wrong with cyberpunk, Jurati. Deal with it.
well, that's something that's actually referenced is how the water is all contaminated.
Yeah, of course it
Like,
is. Hmm.
again, it's not cyber contemporary. It's not futuristic. It's not Star Trek or anything. Like it is very much dystopian crime noir cyberpunk. Like that's
Mhm.
what Blade Runner is. And to be blunt, I wish we had more of it. But
Well, yeah, as we're talking about cyberpunk, why not? Hell, it's up to us. We can talk about what the hell we want. I tell you what, I would really like them to make is a modern film, not, or at least modern technology, not necessarily modern attitude, but modern technology of Neuromancer, the William Gibson book. Now, reason I make the point of that is one, I actually have a copy of that with his autograph in it, so yes, I'm quite chuffed at that. And two, it's a bloody good story behind it. Have you ever read Neuromancer?
I feel like I started to read it a long time ago and never
Okay.
finished it.
Understandable, actually. It is a complete headfuck. Can't be honest. It really, really is. It does things that you just sit there going, what? Does it make sense at the end? It does anything, but it does its best to make sense. But it's still a bloody good book. I would just like to see them do a version of it in film. Just the graphics that they could do when it comes to the hacking. Oh my god.
If Hollywood had more talent, I would agree with you. But
Hmm.
honestly, I'm afraid to see anything, especially like a book,
Hmm.
get the source material adapted to film in the current state. Like I'd rather let Hollywood burn and die and and
All right.
pull
Yeah.
Phoenix before doing anything like that. Because well, let's just say
Neuromancer. Oh, go on. Sorry, mate.
let's just say there's a reason I'm apprehensive about the Dune film, even if it's gotten really good reviews from people who don't like woke stuff. But I'm still really apprehensive about it.
Imagine if the Neuromancer idea, as pre-described, was got by the people that make anime.
Oh, that I'd be fine if that was the case, assuming it's not Netflix, of course. But
Yeah. I actually agree with you, Oz. They actually work so much better. But I just think it'd work well because I mean, let's be honest. Anime does a really good cyberpunk attitude at the best of times. Okay, it really does. Now put that over to a pure cyberpunk story. And to give you an idea, okay, when it comes to this, William Gibson, who wrote Neuromancer, also wrote Johnny Mnemonic. Now, I know people will take the piss out of it, but the story itself is actually good. It's just the film itself is, and I agree. Actually, Oz, Netflix did completely screw up Altered Carbon.
I don't even want to talk about that.
What, Altered Carbon? Actually, I tell you one. I don't know if you watched it, but Black Mirror. Did you ever watch any of that series?
Actually, yeah, I did watch Black Mirror, but it's been a long time.
Oh yeah, but that I'm okay with Black Mirror. Okay, there was some shit in there that made you just go, "What?" But it was really good. Okay, really. I mean, hell, B's not much into that sort of stuff, but she was interested. Glad you like it, Oz. It is a really good book, and okay, it's an okay film, but it's a really good story.
Since we're on the topic of anime and Netflix, did you hear that? Well, I know everybody's heard about Cowboy Bebop. I don't want to talk about it. It's going to be
Don't.
trash as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. It doesn't exist. But they want to do a live action One Piece. I don't know why. Like,
But what? What? Huh? Excuse me. Sorry. I must have misheard you there.
yeah, no, you heard me correctly. And for the record, I've only watched like maybe the first 5 episodes of One Piece. I couldn't get into it. So it's not my thing, but I can understand why fans of the series are like, "Oh, please God, no." Like, first off, of all the shows you can pick to try to do a live action adaptation of, you went with One Piece, the show that's over 1,000 chapters, over 1,000 episodes, and you want to do a live action adaptation. And oh, by the way, in my opinion, this is not exactly a show that can be easily translated into a live action format. Like, I could think of 100 shows that would translate better to live action before you'd hear One Piece come out of my freaking gaping maw.
Actually, I'm sort of changing it, but I'm sort of sticking with very, very sort of. Your opinion on the Resident Evil, the animated? We don't mention the live action. It didn't happen. It's not happening. La 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 la. Let's pretend it's not happening. Okay. What did you think of the animated one, though?
Just in general, like with all the animated films and miniseries that they've done,
How did you feel about it? If you was watching, if you was by your own admission, you're a fan of Resident Evil. Okay.
I'll put it to you this way. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure somewhere in my storage unit, I still have the Resident Evil toys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Monster Mizume, that would be outstanding, but yeah, that's not really something they could do. I love the idea though.
Yeah.
And they need, I'm going to say it, okay? They need to make a season 2 of Monster Mizume. I don't give a shit. They need
surprised
to,
they
because that was awesome.
I'm surprised they haven't, to be honest.
Did you see the one they done where it's set in a fantasy world where he's a doctor?
I did, and to be blunt, I wasn't a fan.
No, it was not as good. I mean, it was watchable, but it wasn't as anywhere near Monster Mizume watchable.
It just felt really, it felt watered down and cookie cutter. Like it didn't have the same. What's the word I'm looking for? It didn't have the same character, and I don't mean that as like characters, but like it just
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't feel right.
Yep. Shirazi, no, we're not avoiding you like the plague. It's just that what you said is it. All right, okay, let's go through. That gambling anime wasn't terrible. It was done by Netflix. That helps. Probably if you actually said, is that Kakigurai thing? Apparently that was good. Does this mean anything to you? Because you know what names are like for me.
I didn't watch it.
All right. Well, no, hun, we're not actually avoiding you. We just don't necessarily know what you said. Sorry. I mean, and what is Bobbyverse, for God's sake? Do you know what Bobbyverse is?
No, actually.
No, I mean, again, you're saying words that we don't understand. We're not ignoring you. We just don't understand you, huh? That's all. Okay.
I don't remember the last Netflix anime I watched, but it was either Ancient Magus Bride or Violet Evergarden. I don't even remember if Ancient Magus Bride was Netflix or Crunchyroll.
Apparently, Bobbyverse is a book series. Anything?
Ed, I haven't read it.
Sorry, hon. You can, as you can see, I have to go to him to even for the slightest clue. It may well be good. I'm willing to, possibly give it a go, but I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Last thing I watched from that sort of thing, like I say, was the Resident Evil stuff. Now, I quite enjoyed it.
Oh,
There
wait, you're
was.
right. The Generation, that was the name of it.
Oh, sorry.
The most recent Resident Evil animated miniseries, I guess. It was like, what, 4 episodes?
No, that was Ultimate Darkness or something, I think it was called.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Generation was the movie. It's Ultimate Darkness. That was the last
Okay.
Netflix thing I watched. But
Yeah.
I don't really know if that qualifies as anime.
Ooh, stuck into a computer and put in a spaceship. Now that's kind of interesting. Okay.
It's called
Thank you very much, you two.
It's
Cool.
called Bobbyverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, DM that to me on Discord. I actually want to take a look at that.
There you go, hon. As I say, we're not ignoring you. We just don't know. Now you found someone that's interested. Hell, it probably is really good, and I'm pretty confident that you'll be able to tell me about it and go, "Ooh, you should watch this," or "What the fuck is this crap?" Quite simply.
I mean, hell, if it actually turns out to be really good, maybe we'll do a show reviewing it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about reviewing like maybe once a week or once every other week or once a month, just reviewing a whatever anime series we feel like, just as something to change stuff up, just to see if the audience enjoys it.
I'm putting forward as the first thing Monster Musume because it's awesome.
You know, if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna have to rewatch it, which I have no problem with, but I'm definitely rewatching it. I know.
Darn. Oh, how can you cope with rewatching it? It's not like it's that damn good.
I know.
I've watched it about 3 times already. So
I'm pretty sure I've watched it at least twice.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, Sue is definitely the best character. I don't care what anybody else says.
Sue is awesome, but do you know what? I actually really like Mia. I really do.
I can see why people like Mia, but Sue is still the best in my opinion. But
Oh yeah, I'm not going to disagree even slightly with that. But like I said, I can appreciate Mia.
I mean,
Everyone else goes. What's a harpy called?
I don't remember because I always just call her Bird Brain.
Yeah, fair. She's okay, and people get all soppy over her, but no, not as good. Pappy, thank you.
Yeah, there it is. There we go.
You go. Funny enough, the second you said it, no, I remember. I was not a fan of the centaur. I have to say, she made my teeth itch. I'm going to be blunt. Oh, we're doing a bloody review. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that for a later date.
Yeah. Who knows? We'll even pretend we're scripting it. I am not scripting it. I'm just letting you right now. I am not going to script this shit. If you want it scripted, find someone else. Okay.
Do people still make scripted YouTube videos? Because
technically, yeah. AMC, we're just talking stuff. He's got things he wants to talk about, but we're currently talking anime and things.
Yeah, we started off light and then we got into a completely off the rails conversation. Which I'm perfectly okay with. Yeah. Because
it's just natter, isn't it?
Well, we want to start off with the lighthearted stuff and everything before we really get into the hot and heavy. So this is a good place to start.
Yep.
But just to wrap everything back around, Sony, please collaborate with who owns Indiana Jones now? Oh, it's Disney. That's right. It's freaking Disney.
It would be.
Well, to be fair, Disney and Sony already are allowing the Spider-Man universe, so we're getting like Carnage and it. Well, what's the? I think No Way Home is the most recent Spider-Man that's coming out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get a Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, Indiana Jones, crossover or something. That'd be cool. It'd be
It,
a lot.
yeah.
It'd be a nice love letter to the fans.
It would. Sharati just sent me a link to that Bobverse, so I also sent it to you as well, mate. Okay.
Awesome,
You
thank
don't
you.
have to do it here, it's just there, so you can check it out yourself. Anyway, mate,
Yeah,
next thing on
let's.
your little list of stuff, we'll probably go back to this because you know we will.
Yeah, so just to get the easy one out of the way, I'm still laughing at the amazing Lucas because he continues to lose subscribers. But I guess he got one of his bigger critics, which by bigger I mean the dude had like 1,000 subs,
Ooh.
Burberry. But I guess he got his channel either Lucas or Lucas's fans got his channel terminated.
Oh, God.
So yeah, there's that. So it's like yeah, typical.
Mm. Is that all people can do nowadays? I mean, that if you say anything about anyone, they're going to get you shut down. This is when they go on about cancel culture. This is what they're talking about, in my opinion.
Well, to be honest, this is what I don't understand. So okay, let's say there's a few YouTubers who've been having a bit of a go at Lucas, myself included, and I think he deserves it. He deserves criticism and pushback. But I'm pretty sure I said it the last time we talked about him. Dude, it's free content. Just take it and respond to it. Like why are you trying to get people terminated off the platform for, criticizing you or making fun of you or yeah, dude, it's free content. Hey, come on. I'm pretty sure it was only a few years ago that YouTube drama actually sold fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why you wouldn't capitalize on it. It seems like a bad business idea to try to silence your haters, like, or as Young Ripper would say, monetize your haters. Like, come on, man, come on, man, be productive about it. Dogface Pony Soldier, don't make me take you out back and wrestle you.
Yeah. I'm going to do pull-ups. Yeah, sure, whatever.
I'm gonna challenge you to push-up contest.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, I think he probably means push away because that's all kids ever do when he goes near them. Like, oh, get away, get away. I'm not wrong, though, am I?
I know I'm laughing, but it's not really that funny when you look at how young kids act around our corporeal in chief.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Unlike most people who would sit here and take the mickey out of the president of the US, I'm not. Okay, it's too easy to take the mickey out of him. All I can do is send sympathies to the Americans, my audience. You've got that. Oh, I feel so bad for you. And this is coming from a guy that has got a hairy potato as our prime minister.
dude, send me a bottle of absinthe or something because I need it. let me drink myself into to the point where I can't tell if this is a dream or reality. But
Yeah, actually, I totally understand that. It would be so much easier.
hmm.
Shirati also sent you the fan site for the Bobbyverse. Thank you, Shirati.
Oh, sweet, thank you, Shrati.
Yeah, which makes life easier.
But yeah, I just
Yes,
wanted to point out that little thing about either Lucas or the Amazing Army, as he calls them. Yeah, got Burberry's channel nuked.
has he ever responded to any of the things that you've said about him? Directly, as in?
Not to my knowledge.
Not even on Twitter?
I don't even know if he has a Twitter, to be honest.
To be, I'll be surprised if he doesn't, seeing as he is a, YouTuber. And please note that's YouTube with an A at the end.
Yeah, well, let's be blunt. He's a bit of an attention whore, yeah, no, that's fine. Most, as Dodge would usually say, everybody has to be a little bit of a egotistical attention whore just to be on this platform in general. So, but really, for being attention hungry, he doesn't take criticism very well.
No, no. Do you know what? He's decided that we are below him, which is actually his mistake, quite simply, because everybody is below everyone else at some point. We are not anyone that matters, okay? We ain't PewDiePie. We ain't. I don't even bloody know. But we're not anyone that really matters. But equally, we're the ones that whisper in people's ears, and then things get out. And it's like, oh yeah, I heard about that Lucas guy. Oh, he's shit, isn't he? Oh yeah. And then masses of people start to realise exactly how crap this guy is.
Well, also to be fair, we're not the individuals that had a 500,000 subs fall down all the way to the 300K mark simply by shifting with the winds, so to speak. Because as soon as it looked like Trump was no longer profitable on the internet, then yeah, notice his tone very much changed. So he's kind of like the Hunter Avalon, in my opinion. He changes his tune to maintain relevancy and keep the money going in, which I'm not going to criticize really. Hey, people are going to grift. It's fine. I get it. You're doing it for a paycheck. You're doing it for clout. I understand, but don't pretend you aren't, because anybody with the brain can see, the type of videos you were making 4 years ago and the type of videos you're making now. Your tune shifted, and we know why you shifted. But whatever, man. You do you. Keep your hustle going. It's fine. Although apparently it's not working for you because you're losing subs left and right. So maybe not the best business decision, but hey, it's your channel, not mine. So
Yeah. Maybe he's reconsolidating or some tone. Hey, Falcon.
yeah, who knows? But
Apparently, Hunter is now homosexual. Does this mean anything to you? I've never even seen the guy, so I don't know.
I've watched a few of his videos like back in the day, and then I think it was Actual Justice Warrior did a video about how essentially he's a grifter, which he is. I mean, Hunter basically admitted as much, which, to be blunt, credit where credit is due. At least you admitted it. Like, but it doesn't surprise me. Like, okay, whatever, man. Does it affect my life in any way, shape, or form? No, it's just something I can point at and say, haha, well, typical. Not surprised.
This Hunter guy, is his last name Biden by any chance? I've heard rumors about this guy. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that one apparently.
And who's going to stop me?
I heard that he has a very successful laptop repair business.
I hear he's actually really good at painting.
Oh yeah!
Wow, which one was worse at lying there, me or you?
Yes. Just yes.
Yeah. Dude, I apologize for lying that much. I genuinely actually feel quite bad for that one. Oof.
I don't.
Yes. Fair point. All right. On your list of people you want to pick on, who's next?
Oh, so yeah, we got Lucas out of the way. Best of luck to you, Lucas. I hope it works out for you, man. Like, but so did you hear Jeremy from The Quartering had well, basically he said Megan Fox looks weird. She had too much plastic surgery.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Okay.
So I guess this ruffled some people's feathers. And to be fair, credit where credit is due. Jeremy said, "Yeah, I gave the internet low-hanging fruit. So they're gonna mock my looks. They're gonna mock what I look like. I'm not going to do that because I don't really care about that type of stuff." But
yeah,
Philip DeFranco decided to chime in on it, and I guess they're now having like a little bit of a back and forth or something. Like, he made a video on it, or Philip DeFranco made a video about The Quartering, then The Quartering made a video responding to it. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny because they're both extremely large channels. So
yeah.
But I kind of agree with one take that The Quartering had, though. And so I don't really want to get into like the drama. To be blunt, I think Philip DeFranco is a cookie cutter. I don't want to say a douchebag, but I kind of do want to say a douchebag.
Dude, this channel was created with free speech in mind, so say what you feel.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, honestly, he doesn't seem like, talking about Philip DeFranco. He doesn't seem like the type of person that if I was having a drink with him at the bar, I'm going to inherently dislike. Like, he seems like a decent enough guy, but some of the takes he has are really dumb. Like, and like when he started trying to talk about the whole Covington kid thing, where he completely got the story wrong, like completely ass backwards. But to be fair, so did CNN. So I don't know how much I can really criticize him on that one. And he did apologize for it. He did come back and say, like, yeah, I jumped to conclusions. So, again, credit where credit's due.
Okay.
But Philip DeFranco is one of those people where it's like, yeah, considering how large of a platform you have, and considering that you're one of Susan's little sweetheart darlings, I don't hate the guy because of his success. I mean, dude, you're successful. Congratulations. I mean, I'm not going to take that away from you. Like, good job. Like, you've earned it. You've got yourself in that position through your own hard work, and you do you. But at the same time, you're responding to Jeremy from the quartering because he said Megan Fox looked weird. Is it your job to white knight for fucking Hollywood celebrities that have more money than any of us could ever hope for? Like, it just seems kind of like a douchey thing to do.
Yeah. Do you know, I've noticed the term white knight gets used, thrown around all the time. Why can't we get white knight as a termed racist, so they won't use it? What do you think?
Or you're afraid of being a black knight?
I'd rather be a black knight than a white knight.
Yeah, what's wrong with black knights, huh?
Exactly. Are they now suggesting that white knights are better than black knights? My God, that is actually really racist. All jokes aside.
Are you suggesting black knights don't have any moral agency? Are you suggesting they're the bad guys? Is it because of their color? Racist.
Fair. Susan, I don't even know who Megan Fox is. That must have been in one of the Transformer movies, wasn't it?
Yeah. She was in the Transformers movies, and also, do you remember that movie Jennifer's Body?
Nope.
It was a horror movie, but it wasn't a good horror movie, but it was a horror movie nonetheless.
Okay.
But I mean, so that's kind of wrapping back to the point I wanted to make. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say like whether she looks good or bad, but you can definitely tell she's had plastic surgery, which Jeremy from the quartering did say that's kind of just an aspect of the industry that you sort of have to accept. Like, yeah, a lot of people that work as actors, actresses, models, they do get plastic surgery because guess what? As you age, when you're 40, you don't look like you're 20. And to be honest, in Hollywood, looks are important. Sex sells. Well, used to sell anyways. I guess we're not allowed to do that anymore because reasons. But the point stands is like you can definitely tell she had plastic surgery, which could maybe Jeremy have been a little more tactful about the way he went about the criticism? Of course he could have. But he's not wrong. So, but and also to be fair, playing devil's advocate, he did open himself up for criticism, and he took his lumps. That's fine. But it's just something funny I saw where I was like, okay, I just kind of want to laugh at this because it's something funny, something to point and laugh at. Like, oh, look, the couple million subscriber channel is making fun of the million subscriber channel, and yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay, so basically it's a slap fight between two. I'm trying to word how I'm going to... No, fuck it, I'm just saying. The slap fight between two cripples is what you're telling me. Let's see if YouTube ban me for that one.
We keep trying.
I know. And like I said, MC, I'm going to see what I can do about getting banned before you next time. Let's see how we're doing.
Apparently we're not doing a good enough job.
I know, it's disturbing, isn't it? Actually, no, Oz, I disagree. He says Megan Fox never got a part based on talent. You just have to define what her talent is. And I bet she did get a part based on her, air quotes, talent, close quotes. No comment from Roberta?
Well, I was gonna say if you can become VP of the United States for having certain talents, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, it's funny actually. You and Shirati must have been thinking the same thing. On knees, hands behind back. Wow. And I'm just pointing out that she was praying to get the higher position. I was not suggesting anything else. You believe me, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never speak ill of our benevolent rulers.
And I agree, MC. She didn't have a bad personality. She definitely let it go to her head. Sorry.
So, anyways, before we get on to the end part of the show,
Yeah.
you're asking me earlier about the markets and why I thought things were going to come down.
Oh yes. Yes.
So now we can move away from pop culture and YouTube drama and into some economic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, Chad, I won't bore you for too long.
Only about 3 hours. Gotcha.
And no, that's Twitter arguments with fucking Harpine.
Is he dead yet, by the way?
Not to my knowledge.
Damn it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, funny enough. I love it. I was actually talking to Kim about this last night.
Yep.
I love it when people come out and say, like, I understand economics. I took a college course. Have you ever run a business? Have you ever invested seriously? Not just here's my money at an ETF or I've put my money in a 401k. Like, no, have you ever sat there and watched market trends and actually done swing trading or traded penny stocks or engaged in venture capitalism? Have you ever done your own fundamental research or fundamental analysis? Have you ever done a technical analysis before? If the answer is no, to be blunt, I don't want to hear about your theoretical pie in the sky fucking economics theories that only exist in a fucking textbook. Because guess what? They're usually fucking wrong. And I can explain why very concisely. Modern monetary theory. We could just constantly inflate the currency and prices will constantly go up and there will never be a market bubble burst ever again. And it'll be perfectly fine. Except for the fact that prices are constantly inflating. And then all of a sudden you hit this funny point where, well, why don't we have a $15 minimum wage? We need a living wage. Well, gee, I wonder why $15 an hour is barely a minimum wage in a lot of areas because, oh, wait, prices are inflating. Gee, I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because you have a fiat currency and your fiscal policy is, oh, we're going to tax the rich. By the rich, you mean you? How much debt do you have? How many houses do you have? Do you have a boat? How many cars do you have? No, I mean the billionaires. I thought you said the millionaires a decade or two ago. No, the billionaires. So oddly enough, now being a millionaire is not rich, which also oddly enough does make sense in an inflationary environment because what $250,000 would buy you back in the 70s or the 80s. Well, let's look at what your purchasing power is in 2020. Yeah, gee, that's what inflation gets you, huh? Oh, by the way, yeah, wages don't keep track with that. They don't keep up. But all right, well, we printed a bunch of money. Now inflation's kind of a problem. Well, we need to raise interest rates. Do you think you're really going to be able to tax the rich, the people who are smart enough and have enough money to hire CPAs, tax professionals, but also can open their own businesses, separate their personal wealth from their business wealth? Yeah, if the business goes bankrupt, whatever, no biggie. I can claim capital loss, or I can just move my money to an offshore account where taxes aren't a fucking issue.
Make sure you're reading the screen.
tax the rich. Even if you took every penny they have, you couldn't run the government for more than a couple months. Correct. That is indeed correct. Also, the top 10% of owners, the quote, quote, rich, many of them also on Capitol Hill, it make up 71% of all the taxable income. And they pay about 71% of the taxes that the government takes in, which, oh, by the way, doesn't really fucking matter because we're talking about spending 1.5 to 3.5 trillion dollars, which do you think you're going to get that by taxing the rich? Because I hate to break it to you, boys and girls, you're not. The only thing you can do is print money, and the only people that hurts are people who are living on the poverty line and middle class. Sure, the value of your house might go up, but also if you want to go buy 3 ribeye steaks at the fucking grocery store, it's going to cost you about 70, 80 bucks. So, yeah, tell me more about how just printing money in a fiat currency inflationary situation is a good thing. Because it might help my stock account. It might help my 401k because, I actually have excess income to invest. But if you're someone who's living paycheck to paycheck or is living on the poverty line, well, I hope you have no moral conundrums when it comes to taking on employment, because guess what? You're going to be the government's debt slave for the rest of your life. Which, according to the Cloward Piven strategy, is actually the goal. If you want to implement communism in a capitalistic society like the United States, you do it by expanding the welfare state and by devaluing the currency to such an extent that you essentially put everybody on the government dollar.
Now, from MC, we are spending 6 trillion with revenue taken this year alone. 3.58. I mean, yeah. How's this work again? I just don't get the whole taxation thing. And no, I'm not going to do. Actually, what the hell? I'm doing the Dodge quote. Taxation is theft. There you go. I've said it. That's got to keep them happy for a while. But
And
thing
also,
is, how are you going to do this? I mean, these countries are borrowing money from the World Bank, as they put it, but how can there be a World Bank when no bugger's got any bloody money anyway? Which means you're just basically fiddling electronic. What? Fiddling. Okay. You're just fiddling with electronic money. So why not just, blanket all start again? Everyone goes back to zero. That way nobody owes money to any bugger. Let's be honest. If you're thinking, yes, but what about all this money we're going to get from the other people? You're not going to get it back. Okay. You really aren't. Do you really think that, and just picking places at random, Africa, do you really think you're going to get the money that they owe you back? No. Do you think you're going to get anything that they owe you? You may possibly get insurance. Hey, Mitch.
and also, Oz, you are correct. Increasing your 401k doesn't matter when the loss of buying power outpaces growth. That's exactly my point when it comes to the rise in inflation versus the rise in wages. Yeah, wages will rise slowly, but there's a reason you see the poverty line constantly shift and you see more and more people on poverty and the middle class continues to shrink. Because guess what? The upper class, they don't sit their money in dollars. They start businesses, they buy real estate, they buy physical assets, and they're constantly investing. They have a lot of them have multiple businesses or they have offshore accounts. They very rarely hold money just in dollars. You're not seeing, $20 bills or, Benjamins in the mattress somewhere, because the longer it sits, the more value, the more purchasing power, the more buying power you lose as time goes on. It should be around 2% because that's the targeted inflation rate. That's considered quote, quote, healthy, according to the Fed. Well, we're sitting at somewhere between 4 and 5% right now. But if you look at the adjusted numbers, the actual real inflation numbers were probably closer to something like 6 or 7%. So if you're just sitting on, cash, assume that you're losing somewhere between 5 and 8%. Let's take best and worst case scenario. Right now, you're sitting on $100. That value is going down between $5 and $8 every year. And this gets to be an exponential problem.
Oz, we know exactly what you mean by those specific metals. Nice one, though.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, but you know full well he's not talking about standard metals there either. So.
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. And guess
Good,
what?
good.
If you want to go buy freedom seeds, there's already a shortage of that going on, and that's for good reason.
Yeah. Bad, isn't it?
But yeah, that's the reason. So kind of to pull a pasky, circling back around to my original point.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the market is going to go down for two very specific reasons. A, we're printing a ton of money to try to prop up the market, a market that technically should have already collapsed. The only reason it hasn't is because we've printed a ton of money. The other reason is because the vast majority of consumers are dumb. They got their stimulus checks and they turn around and they went out to eat, lived life as normal, maybe bought a new flat screen TV, maybe bought a new car. And I can tell you what the majority of them didn't do. They didn't invest it. They didn't pay off their debts. They didn't pay off their credit cards. They didn't pay off student loan. They didn't pay off the loan on the first car they already had. They went out and bought a second one. They didn't buy crypto. Yeah, they didn't put it in the stock account. If you look at M1 versus M2, it would suggest that the majority of them actually just put it into savings. And because we had the eviction moratorium, banks aren't lending either. Well, this creates a quite a predicament because banks, in order to be solvent with the way the banking industry is set right now, they have to be able to lend money so they can make money off the interest. Well, nobody's taking out loans. The economy has slowed down. We have a supply crisis right now. We have a supply crunch because we shut down the economy for a year. Which no, quarantines are not lockdowns, but that's a different conversation for another day. So you shut down the economy. You basically told people they don't have to pay their bills, and you gave them a bunch of money. The ones that went out and bought a bunch of stuff, well, okay, fine. That's money they don't have. Well, they're going to be really down and out on their luck when they have to go back to work. But oh, by the way, let's make it more difficult for you to go back to work because you have to have the pokey pokey. So that's also, we increase the amount of people or the amount of money that people can get while they're on welfare or unemployment. So a lot of them aren't going to want to go back to work. So that's just going to hurt the supply chain even more. It's also going to hurt the consumer and service industry. Which I'm sure a lot of people, and I know in my area at least, there's restaurants that will just say, yeah, we're closed on Sundays, or wait times are doubled what we have because we don't have enough people working. Also, there's help wanted signs. I mean, they'll pay you $25 an hour. They're not even doing 15. I mean, they're that desperate for people. But at the same time, costs of goods are increasing because you printed a ton of money and there's damage to the supply chain. So it's more expensive for restaurants to do business. And restaurants and hospitality industry, or I should say service industry and hospitality industry, are the ones that are hit the hardest by this because they have to increase their prices. And also it's harder to get customers because people still have less disposable income because they're not working. And this is a downward spiral. And on top of that, most people's most valuable asset is their house. Well, what do you think is going to happen to real estate prices now that they're overinflated because we printed a ton of money, but also at the same time, coming very soon, a bunch of people are going to be evicted. What's that going to do to the majority of landlords? Guess what? Majority of landlords, that's what prevents them from living paycheck to paycheck. That's that extra little bit that they have to, connect the dots so they don't go bankrupt, so they don't lose their house. Well, much like a restaurant that has no customers, you're still going to have to pay taxes on those properties. Well, you're going to have to sell them. Okay, you sold them. The banks come in and bought them up. The Fed comes in and props things up. Maybe you get another stimulus check. But you don't have any buyers. What happens to a product when you have a lot of supply but no demand?
Just sits there, obviously.
Is that a cliff I see in the distance? Why are we running towards it at breakneck speed? It's almost like something similar happened. I don't know, about roughly a decade ago. when the housing market decided to fall off a cliff. Although that was for different reasons. That had to do with derivative asset trading and irresponsible lending practices from banks, who, again, need to make money. Right now, the banks can't even find enough customers, so they can't even have irresponsible lending practices because there's no one to lend to. So guess what? Not only you're looking at a potential housing collapse in the real estate market, but you're also looking at a banking collapse because the banks can't make fucking money. And yes, Mitch, there is indeed a land grab scheme going on. But honestly, I don't know if it's so much as a scheme as it's a lot of the banks and the big brain investors realize, look, we got to prop up the market somehow, and we have a lot of capital sitting on the sideline. If we don't buy it, and again, they're buying it at above asking price. I honestly think they're doing it to prop the market up, because if they don't, there is no other buyer. I know the Fed is quote quote buyer of last resort, but they can only buy certain types of assets. They can't come in and buy land. Like there are restrictions put in place for that, and it wouldn't surprise me if the government tries to change their policies to where they actually can come in and buy land, just because there's no other choice. It's either everything collapses, and we see one of the largest economic bubbles in history go pop, which very likely could happen, because I don't know if the government can actually act fast enough to prevent it. We're already kind of on a hard track to that inevitable economic apocalypse. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm obviously talking worst case scenario, but the bad part is my worst case scenario, all of the ducks are in a row. All it's going to take is just one event. It's just one whale has to sell something off. One natural disaster. One guy sitting behind a booth somewhere, or sitting in a cubicle somewhere, goes, this is kind of screwed. Maybe we should just go to cash and sell our assets. And that causes a dump, which then snowballs. And that's how 2008 happened. That's how the dot-com bubble happened. If you don't think it can't happen again, we're primed for it. Mark my words. We are indeed primed for an economic collapse, which is why, as much as I would like to buy a house or a new car, or even invest my money in a more diversified portfolio, I'm only holding some very select hand-picked stocks, because they're the ones that will survive an economic collapse, because either A, they benefit from inflation, or B, they're necessities.
By the way, yes, Mitch, I completely agree.
Yep, one guy in a clock tower. But that's the thing. If you're not taking into account that the system could easily have the floor fall out from underneath you, and it could happen as early as tomorrow, it could happen 2 years from now. The fact of the matter is, we've put ourselves in a situation where the economy is so incredibly fragile that if the Fed tries to raise interest rates because inflation is getting out of control, market collapses. If the Fed doesn't raise interest rates and lets inflation keep going, because they know if they do raise those rates, the market's going to collapse, well, guess what? Now you have inflation as a problem. The only answer the government really seems to have is somehow tax people, which I don't know how you're going to tax the rich. They've been evading taxes, including the people speaking from the Capitol Hill pulpit. They evade taxes all the damn time too. So don't listen to them. They're hypocrites. And what they're going to do is they're going to have to raise taxes on the middle class, or the top. They're not going to be able to raise taxes on the top 1%. They just won't. They'll raise it on the 90 to the 99, and then when that's not enough, because inevitably it will not be enough, they'll raise it in the top 20%. So they'll do the 80 to the 99. Then it'll be the 60 to the 99. Then it'll be everybody. It won't be the government, though.
Yeah.
And it won't be the top 1%, because guess what? They make donations to their campaigns. They'll never pay more, but you will. If that doesn't work, they're just going to print more money, which is essentially just a reverse tax anyways. I mean, there's no real good way out of this without a collapse. A collapse has to happen. Market cycles have booms and busts for a reason. But we didn't see extreme bubbles like this until the government decided to take an active role in manipulating the economy. And they did it from the standpoint of, well, we can prevent booms and busts, so the market will just continue to go up in perpetuity, and no one will ever lose money. Except they do. It just happens a lot more rapidly, and it's a lot more extreme in the price movements and volatility. And you know who makes money on that? The people that have money.
As we're talking politics, a question for you. I tried to ask MC earlier, but I ended up balling it up. So now you know how your government has this absolute genius. Everybody has to get the injection or else. Yeah, screw this pokey crap. I'm just gonna say injection.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know the one. You know the thing I mean.
Yeah.
So how comes is it that your commander in idiocy has actually come up with saying that everyone's got to have it except for the Senate and House? You heard about that, I take it. Oh, that laughter says
Yeah.
yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah, I did hear about that.
So, your opinion, please do tell.
And I don't know why anybody's surprised. Wait, you should have seen this coming. The CEO of Pfizer hasn't even taken his own vaccine. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because I don't know, it doesn't work. It's still considered technically experimental. It,
Oh, actually, MC is correct. It's the Senate, House, and the Post Office. I do want to get it accurate.
oh yes, the USPS.
Hmm.
Well, you know why the USPS is not being mandated to take the pokey pokey.
Either it's going to be unions or the fact that they are wanting to do vote by mail anyway. So obviously they want to, yeah, use that.
Well, it's two reasons.
Mhm.
One, the postal workers union was one of Biden's largest donors, so they
Mm,
have some sway, they have some pull, some clout.
yeah, yeah.
And the second reason, if they tried to force it, imagine how many workers would just say, "Nah, screw you, I quit."
True.
And I mean, it's already happening with a lot of hospital workers, and well, the big one that I've noticed is actually truck drivers in the logistics industry, where they're saying, "Look, we're not going to mandate it. Just don't quit. We don't have enough drivers to begin with." They,
Fair.
so yeah, so the more and more people that threaten to quit their job over this, it, this is what I mean by it's gonna tank the economy, which is already hurting, by trying to push something like a vax mandate at this point in time. Is because there's
Mhm.
enough people out there who will say, you know, you raised the amount of money I can get by filing for unemployment, so I'm gonna make you fire me, and then I'm gonna file for unemployment, and I'll just take that sweet government dollar, and the economy will tank. If you wanted to try to push something like this, you picked the absolute worst point in time to try to do it.
Hold it, hold it. You say that, but isn't this doing what they pretty much want? Where eventually universal basic income becomes the thing for everyone because, well, everyone's going to be out of work apart from those that they want in work.
And
If I'm wrong, do tell. I'm genuinely curious.
I mean, if your goal is to collapse the economy, yeah, sure. But here's the problem: if the economy
Mhm.
collapses, you're going to have a lot of people who are wondering why the shelves at Walmart and Costco are empty. And when people get hungry, people do crazy things. And you can point the finger at the orange man all you want, but at the end of the day, you're the one in office and you're the one making these decisions. It's not going to take people very long when they start to get desperate and then they start to get angry to actually figure out who the one that put them in the situation is. And mark my words, that political tribalism, my team versus your team, that'll go out the window really quick when all of a sudden there's no rice left on the grocery store shelves. Like
Okay.
it's all fun and games until someone realizes, you know what? Orange Man's not in office, and he's not the one that put the mandate in place, and he's not the one that's forcing me to do this or do that.
Yeah, but
Maybe the current government is the one to blame.
Dude, you know full damn well that's why they're doing this the 18th of the month shit show. It's obfuscation. It's ignore what the president is doing. Look at these bad people. We don't like these people. Yeah, let's get them. That's what this is. It
Oh,
really is.
it most definitely is a deflection and distraction. They
Yeah.
need a boogeyman. They need a bad guy. They need someone to point the finger at and blame their own incompetence on. Because
Mm.
if they don't have one, all of a sudden the mirror's not quite as foggy, and you start to realize who the one who's actually to blame is. It's sort of like I'm going to use my go-to example. Everyone's like, "Oh, Trump economy was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah, look at how much jobs were lost. Everything." Yeah, we're talking about the last year of his presidency. What about the first 3 years? Oh no, that was Obama's economy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's the one that shut down the economy? Well, Trump didn't do enough to stop COVID. Wasn't it Pelosi and De Blasio that were going out and saying, no, no, I believe even Fauci said it's no worse than the flu. And, go visit Chinatown, go hit the cinema, go do this, go do that. Oh, no, but Trump shut down the economy. He tried to shut down travel, and you guys called him xenophobic for it, and you said he was overreacting. And then, if I remember correctly, it was mayors and governors of states and cities that actually shut things down. It wasn't actually a federal mandate. This was you guys that did it. Because all of a sudden, that thing that was not that bad and Trump's evil, racist, xenophobic, all of a sudden overnight is now so terrible that we have to shut down not just the city, not just quarantine, we have to lock down the entire fucking economy over it. But I thought it wasn't that bad. I thought I was supposed to go to Chinatown. Nope, Chinatown's closed. Uh, okay. But here's your $1,400 check.
Doku, are you being racist and remembering things again? Told you about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop remembering things like they were. You know that that's not what they want you to think is truth. Stop remembering the truth, okay? Just smack your head against the wall a few times, and then you'll be thinking how they want you to think, i.e., not.
And see, and this is my point. They need that boogeyman. They need that person to point the finger to and say, "Nope, it's their fault." It definitely wasn't our fault, but it was. It was your fault. You're the ones that locked down the economy. You're the ones that said it wasn't that big a deal. You're the ones that pushed back against it. You even said, even our own VP, even our own current corporeal in chief said that they wouldn't trust the vaccine. Why? Because the orange man was in office. Now they want everybody to take it except for themselves.
Yeah.
Like
Kind of
I
funny,
don't
isn't it?
and I don't care what side of the political spectrum you fall on, whether you're Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, libertarian, yeah, anarchist, Green Party. I really don't care. But you cannot sit there and tell me that this is not so incredibly blatant and in your face with exactly what went on. I mean, you either have to be insanely ignorant, like ignorant to the point where you're literally not paying attention. You're just letting people tell you what to think, and then you're just regurgitating what they tell you. Or B, you have to be nefarious. There has to be some sort of malintent behind it. It can't be. You can't honestly believe this stuff if you're being honest with yourself. Like, you might not like it. I sure as hell don't. Trump did things that I didn't like. I think he should have been a lot harsher when it comes to the lockdowns. I think he should have actually said, like, look, no, you're infringing upon people's rights. Like, yeah, he should have encouraged people to say, like, no, you can't just lock down everyone for no reason. Like, you have to give me a reason. Like, this isn't a quarantine. This is the government overstepping its bounds. But he didn't do that. So I think he let himself get pushed around a little too much, and I know that's kind of crazy considering the type of personality that Trump is.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. He allowed this to happen. I don't think he did it intentionally. I just don't think he did. I don't think he knew what to do, and that's because he also, through his own normally I would say arrogance, but it really is hubris. He surrounded himself with people who were just waiting for the opportunity to stab him in the back. And obviously, in retrospect, we can see that now. But he thought he was he thought he was going to come in and take on the cabal, the deep state, the swamp, whatever you want to call it, and everything was going to be hunky-dory and fine. And it didn't turn out that way. It was fine for the first 3 years, but they don't care about the first 3 years. They only care about the election year. And then look at what the hell happened. Which brings me very conveniently to my final point.
That's why I sniggered.
To my final point. Trump surrounded himself with people that he thought he could trust, but were so nefarious, such snakes in the grass, that you have a U.S. general, allegedly, this is all allegedly, but if you believe the allegedly storyline, you had a U.S. general who went behind the back of POTUS, circumvented the Constitution, had officers under his command essentially swear what he considered to be an oath to him, not the Constitution, not the United States, but an oath to him, and then also through a secret channel was communicating with a military authority that belongs to an adversarial country. There's a word for that.
Liberal, Democrat.
Well, yeah, I can't really disagree with that one.
Okay, sorry, just had to be said.
And oh, by the way, apparently this was coerced, allegedly, by the Speaker of the House.
Now, who is it that's the Speaker of the House again? I can't remember what party they're involved in. Perhaps you can remind me.
It definitely doesn't begin with a D and end with rat.
Ah, okay. And yes, Shirati.
Yes, that is indeed.
To me,
that is indeed the word.
Yes.
It is. I don't know how anyone could look at this and say, "Oh, well, no, we had a general who was communicating with, a foreign nation that's adversarial to us, and they were talking to their military and saying, no, it's fine. We're not going to attack you guys. If anything happens, I'll let you know. I'll talk to you first." Doing it secretly of his own volition, circumventing the Constitution, circumventing the balance of powers, circumventing the commander and fucking chief, and then also having officers serving under him essentially swear an oath to him, which basically is coercing and forcing them to essentially turn their back on their oath they took to the Constitution. And oh, by the way, this potentially was due to coercion by the Speaker of the House, who's been trying to usurp power for the past 4 fucking years to begin with. I don't see how you can look at that and go, "Oh no, it's just because the Orange Man was unhinged. They were protecting us for our own good." They're openly communicating with someone who's technically our enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're doing trade with them doesn't mean they're your friend. And oh, by the way, this is going on at the same time where that quote, adversarial foreign power is openly threatening one of your allies.
From Susan, congressmen shouldn't be dying in office in order to get rid of them. I agree with you. I really do. It's wrong. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. It's wrong. Bring in term limits. Seriously, term limits. Yeah, but whatever. Bring in that really, because it's a joke. Okay, I know what is it? 35 is the absolute barest minimum age for president in your country. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what the hell is an 80-year-old doing? I mean, no offense, but once you get to 50, you want to seriously start looking at, well, it's time to get rid of this twit. Not 80.
You know what I've been saying for a long time? If the retirement age is 60, then that means past 60, you're not allowed to serve in public office. You're probably in cognitive decline anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why someone who's 70, 80 years old is even serving in office. And yes, that would apply to Trump too. And I don't care. We don't need a 70, 80-year-old man, with, the nuclear football making decisions for basically the whole fucking world.
There is one issue with this though, mate. Okay. Seeing as your president has basically proved that your SCOTUS has less power than a tissue in a hurricane, what are you going to do? Okay, there is no bugger that can actually enforce these rules because what? You take it to SCOTUS, we're going to do something. No, you're not. No, actually, no, we're not. You can take the military. Your entire point is one of the generals is treasonous, so you can't go to the military. The police, don't make me laugh. So what's left?
You know, let me think of how to say this without trying to sound horribly nihilistic.
Just say it. I'm being serious here. Okay.
No, and I'm gonna
Hell?
take this.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
actually gonna take this seriously
Okay, good.
because the way I see it,
Mm-hmm.
one of three things is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
First case scenario is yes, the global cabal takes over its new world order. Yeah, you're all fucked. Freedom is dead. Wait, so that's situation number one. Situation number two, things get so bad that there's no choice but to start a world war. And if you don't think they won't pull that card, oh, let me correct you. They sure as shit would pull that card if it means saving their own ass. They do not care about sacrificing, all you plebs, peons, little people. They sure as hell will send you to your death if it means saving their own skin. Or outcome number three, the country collapses and it just has to get rebuilt up again. And you know what that looks like? I believe it begins with the 17 and ends with the 76. We'll see who wins that fight.
One moment, Doku. Mitch, it's a great idea. Okay, I'm not having a problem with the idea of punishments for these people. My argument is who is going to enforce these punishments? It's the enforcement that I've actually got the major issue with. There is no one that can control him. I mean, at the end of the day, the president is the commander in chief. And if the traitorous general is doing exactly that, and yeah, I'm saying it, I don't care. If he's actually being a traitor and is actually twisting things the way he wants them, you're not going to have the military to do this. Because quite simply, 99% of people are just going to go, I can't be bothered to argue. I'm just going to go along with it. And that is what I see happening. Again, we go to the police. Again, I try not to laugh intensely. It's not like they're doing defund the police currently. Oh, it's almost like they've actually thought about this, isn't it? Now that I mention it. So it's a great idea, mate. Punishment is good, but it's the enforcement of punishment is the question. Back to you, mate.
Yeah, so a few things. First off, I apologize for the noise in the background. The cats have decided that this is their go insane time for whatever reason.
Funny 5 minutes.
Yeah, right on cue. Oh god, they discovered bubble wrap. They're popping the bubble wrap. So if you hear noise in the background, that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The cats have discovered bubble wrap.
Oh, that's going to teach you. You should not have let them find that shit. But anyway, go on.
The thing is, I'm not going to be able to take it away from them now. They're going to get pissy if I do.
Oh, yeah.
Which means they're just going to end up making more damn noise and probably break something in the process.
Yes.
But so it's not a coincidence that they've essentially purged the military. Like freaking our definitely not traitorous general talking about. I want to understand white rage. No, they're purging the military for a reason. They're doing it because they want you to be, well, specifically, they want the military or people in positions of power backed up by the threat of force. They want people in those positions not to be loyal to the Constitution or the country. They want them to be loyal to a political party, which is why anybody who's not loyal to said political party is getting purged. It's very deliberate. It's very intentional. I mean, they flat out said it. Hey, they're telling you why they're getting rid of you. Like, hey, have you ever had a red hat on? on your Facebook post or something somewhere? Well, if that's the case, then guess what? You're fired because we maybe possibly think perhaps at some point in time, someone somewhere might have thought that you could be harboring sympathies for what we brand as domestic terrorism.
You're one of them.
It's very much like a like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, pointing and screeching. Like they're purging people for political opinions because, again, they want both the police and the military to be loyal to the political party, not the Constitution and the country, because that's how you engage in a coup. That's what you do. I mean, this happens. This has happened throughout history. It's not new. It's honestly not subtle if you're paying attention and you're not listening to the fucking garbage ass propaganda that we claim is fucking journalism and media and news. If you're looking at things objectively, if you're connecting the dots, and you're not an idiot like Harpine who just wants to put on his fucking horse blinders and fucking slap some rose-tinted glasses over it and go, no, it's only the Republicans, it's only you. Hey, if you look at what's going on and you think to yourself from a strategic standpoint, look forward to the future, not to the current or the past, but look at where this game actually ends, where it's leading. Hey, don't look at what the exit sign is right now. Look at where the end of the road is. This road only ends in one place, and it ends in a totalitarian dictatorship. And that has been the design, and they've been working towards it for fucking decades. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you.
Doku, DMs. I think you need to post it. It says everything that needs to be said. Okay.
All right, give me a moment.
Yeah. Oh no, we might get in trouble for this. How will we cope?
Well, to be honest, considering how much the purge is going on right now, they're going to throw us in the fucking gulag eventually anyways, so it's not going to matter that much.
There you go, people. A certain somebody sent that to me, and I totally agree with it. Thank you to the person that sent it to me.
But yeah, there you go. There's your comic relief for the moment. And yes, someone please go make her bartend again, because good lord, I can't believe that people actually look to this person and are like, she's smart. Really? You have to have the IQ of a fucking bait worm to think fucking AOC is smart.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, her parents must be really disappointed spending all that money on college to see how incredibly daft that woman is.
Yeah, but she's got the one thing that actually cures her stupidity. She's got money.
Oh, and that's the other thing that annoys me. AOC grew up in the Bronx. Her parents are worth millions of dollars. like this, she's not oppressed. She's not poor. She's not working class, but she was a bartender. She could have quit that bartending job and gone back to mommy and daddy's house any damn time she wants, and you fucking know it. I don't want to hear that crap. Like, AOC she represents the working class. She wants to tax the rich. She is rich. She is one of the elite. She's in a position of power. She makes a 6-figure salary. Her parents are rich. She went to an affluent school. She went to the frickin' Met Gala. But she didn't pay for it. I don't care if she paid for it or not. She's rubbing elbows with the fucking Kardashians. You're telling me that she's a champion of the working class? Well, she went into the snake's den to make a statement. Do you see the fucking smile on her face and how those freaking reporters from Vogue were treating her? The only reason she has tax the rich on the back of her dress is because she's using activism as a fashion statement. Because idiots like you are dumb enough to buy a $120 hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear this crap like, AOC is a champion for the working class. She's smart. She's standing up for what she believes in. No, she's scamming you idiots out of money, because if she's one thing and one thing only, she's actually an extremely effective capitalist, even if she doesn't realize it.
I think she does realize it. That's the point.
Well, that's the thing. She's just like fucking Vosh and Hassan Piker and freaking Bernie Sanders. They'll sit there and sell you socialism on a silver fucking platter all day, every day. But once it's done, you're going to take the freaking, 25-cent bug burger, eat it fucking happily, and they're going to take the silver platter back with a couple $100 on top of it because thank you, sir, for the food. and they're gonna fucking go buy a bottle of champagne with it, sit there on their fucking balcony on their ivory tower, and sit there and look, oh, we did such a good thing. The peasants are so happy eating their bug burgers while they sit there and drink their fucking champagne and eat their fucking A5 Wagyu steak.
I agree with Shirachi. She's a female Bernie Sanders.
Oh, she really is. And that's the thing with these fucking champagne socialists. They're extremely effective capitalists. They're extremely good at marketing. They're extremely good at grifting. They're extremely good at fooling stupid people into giving them their money. I don't understand how people don't see this. Like, bro, you're being fucking lied to. They don't care about you. Hassan Parker just wanted to buy a house. Dude, a multi-million-dollar mansion is not just a house. Like, I mean, hell, in my area, we're looking at houses earlier, so without going into like great detail. In my area, which is one of the most expensive areas in the country, for $1 million, I can get a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, several thousand square feet, 4,000 to 5,000 square feet, 3-car garage, 2 to 3 acre plot house for just over $1 million. What the hell do you think I can buy it with $3 million? That's not just a house. Like, honestly, I don't even know what I would do with 4 bedrooms. I only need 1 and then maybe a guest bedroom. I mean, I guess I'll rent out the other 2 to like help cover utility costs or something. Hey, no, $1 million is not just a house. You know what just a house is? 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1-car garage, 0.5 acre plot for 150, 200K. And in the vast majority of areas in the United States, that's quote just a house. A $3 million fucking house in LA, that ain't just a house, bro. It might be a really big, really nice house, but it's not just a house. Most areas, they would consider that a fucking mansion. But yeah, these are the same people that try to fucking sell you socialism. And you donate your money to these people. They don't need it. Do you know how much money Hassan Piker has? Do you know how much money his family's worth? They're millionaires. Cenk Uygur, millionaires. Bernie Sanders, a millionaire. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, millionaire.
Starting to see a pattern here, by the way.
I mean, hell, you really want to talk about abuse and everything? The socialists are the ones that are using capitalism to abuse the working class more effectively than any fucking robber baron ever could hope to do. At least the robber barons create jobs and fucking create products for people to buy. These people just fucking leech off other people's money while they sit there and get rich, trying to sell you stupid ideas that don't work.
Just something I'd like to point out. Shorty has said, damn, in my area, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom for 50K. Over here, 1.5 million will barely get you a 1-bedroom house in London.
Jeez.
Just enjoy that. Okay.
I mean,
Things are
I live
insane over here. Go on.
I live outside of DC. If I tried to move in closer to DC, like let's say if I was moving to like Fairfax or Alexandria, you're looking at a small, rather modest townhome, like 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, no garage. Hey, don't expect to have a garage or let alone a parking spot on the side of the street. That's going to cost you about $1 million.
Yeah.
Just for us. I mean, hell, some of the condos in DC are $800,000, $900,000, and those are condos in kind of the area of town.
Yeah.
Now, you want to get a condo, say around K Street? I hope you have $5 million to drop. You want one in Georgetown? Let's up that to $10 million. Although then again, you're never going to find any of them for sale because guess what? They've all been owned by people for generations at least, who usually all work in either politics, academia, or are lobbyists. There's a reason that Georgetown and K Street are extremely well established because these people have been working there for a very, very long time. It's not just one person, it's generational. Again, this is why I say it's an oligarchy. It's the ruling class. It's not just, oh, I got into politics because I sold a book that did really well, or Yeah, people liked what I had to say. It was a grassroots movement. No, it's because mommy and daddy knew someone, because granddaddy and grandmommy knew somebody, and we all walk the same circles. We all talk the same talk. We all go to the same clubs. We all rub shoulders with each other. We all smoke the same cigars. We all drink the same brand of champagne. And it's been this way for generations. I don't. This is the other thing I don't know why people can't realize. Yes, do we live in the land of the free? Well, not really, but let's assume we did. When you live in a free society, it's really, really easy for a group of people to come in and take control and establish power through generational. Yeah, oddly, this is going to sound very SJW of me, but through generational accumulation of wealth, through generational networking and consolidation of power by working in areas of society that give you power, whether it's through the banking system, money, or through social influence, whether it's the news, Hollywood, entertainment media, even news reporting, or whether it's in politics. All these people rub shoulders with each other for a reason. They've established themselves for a very long time. And to be blunt, this is where the SJWs and the communists and the Marxists and all the, I'm such a big brain while I sit in my armchair and fucking talk about politics on the internet. Gee, look at me talking. But yeah, you're not gonna overthrow the system. You're not gonna tax the rich. You're not gonna do any of that. Like, all that crap is a fucking pipe dream. The reason that this was even allowed to get to this place is because the average person doesn't pay fucking attention. They elect these people, they support them, they give them their money, but they don't actually pay attention to what the hell is going on. They have allowed themselves to be debt slaves and fucking tax cattle. That's what they are. Like, and that's the way these people view us. You're just a peon. You're the lowly person. You're nothing more than a fucking paycheck and a vote every 2 to 4 years. You're a debt slave. You're tax cattle. You are a convenient vote when the time is appropriate. But they don't give a flying fuck about you. You're not important. And I know that sounds nihilistic. I know that will hurt a lot of people's feelings if they heard me say it. And I don't fucking care, because it's the truth. The sooner you wake up to it and realize what reality actually is and the type of fucking situation that you're living in, the better. Because if you don't, the situation is not going to change. It's only going to get worse, because idiots like you are going to keep voting for people like AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden. The only benevolent rich person we've had this entire fucking time has, ironically enough, been Donald Trump, and even he managed to fucking botch the job because, yeah, he might be rich and he might have his best interest of the country at heart, but his hubris and his fucking arrogance got in the way of him actually executing his job. Because again, he's trying to go against the cabal. He's trying to go. He's one man with some resources and maybe a few people loyal to him, trying to go against a generational established power.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't that simple, dude. Like, I'm sorry. You might be, Donald J. Trump. I have my star on a Hollywood Boulevard, and I had my own show, and I'm worth billions of dollars. This and that. I've got my name on a fucking tower in almost every fucking city, and I have a giant, exclusive golf club down in Florida. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. You're going against the entire establishment machine, and you're one dude. You really think you can pull it off? Maybe you can affect a little bit of change in the short term, but look at how easy it was for them to unseat you. I hate to break it to you guys. He bit off more than he could chew. He let his hubris and his arrogance get to him, and that's why he failed. That's it. It's that fucking simple. I know a lot of people won't want to hear it. I know it sounds nihilistic. But guess what? Prove me fucking wrong. If you think anything I said is wrong, let me know, because I've spent the past several months analyzing this and actually looking at it and spending way too much time thinking about it, more than I should have. And I can't find a more optimistic solution than what I've already come to the conclusion to. Because guess what? You can say the election was stolen all you want. Well, what are you going to do about it? Anyone? Yeah, you're going to go to the cops? Like you said, you're going to go to the cops? Do you think the military is going to step in? Do you think the courts are going to step in? They're all already compromised.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? To be blunt, there ain't shit you can do. The system, you just prepare for the worst and let it collapse. Because that's the one silver lining of this. with the way these assholes work, you don't have to get in their way. Let them do what they're going to do, because they will inevitably collapse the system, because they're so short-sighted and so hung up on their own power trip that they will destroy the fucking system. The problem is, you're on the same boat they are. And that boat's fucking sinking.
Yeah.
That is the harsh reality of it, ladies and gentlemen. The boat is sinking, and the captain's the one that shot a fucking hole through the bottom. You're going to go down with the ship, but so are they. The best thing you can do is when the boat finally does submerge, hold their head underneath water and use them as a flotation device. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my very inspiring speech for the afternoon now.
Right. In that case, did you receive a DM from Mitch? Because he sent me a sound bite thingy, and it's awesome. I don't know if he sent it to you.
No, he didn't, but
Okay. I don't know if this is going to work, but this is the link to it. Who knows if it will work for you?
all right, let me
Yep.
take a gander at this.
If you'll be so kind, Mitch, please do.
Yeah, I don't have access to that link according
Okay.
to the Discord.
Okay. I'll kill that off then. Shame, because yeah, he says he's going to send it. Yes.
Thank you, Mitch.
No, play it and then play it so as people can hear it, because just yes.
All right, hold on. Let me. How can I get
I have no idea, mate. Okay, that's why I'm pretty much dropping this on your ass. I've got no idea. That is outstanding.
Let me try to figure out how to make this work.
Okay. Yes, he did do the voice. It's glorious. It really is.
Okay, so I'm normally not used to sharing audio files only.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if this works. So I'm going to share this.
A sec. Add.
All right, now let me know if you guys hear this beautiful, beautiful sound.
Mm-hmm.
Go away, StreamYard thing.
Nothing.
It's not working?
Nope. Sorry, mate. Nice try, Mitch. That was amazing. Thank you. Doku, it is now your mission to find a way of actually using this, okay? Because that is freaking glorious.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to figure out how to make this work. Audio files.
Don't worry about it for now, mate. It's something we can do over the time. But seriously, Mitch, thank you, man. That is outstanding.
It is. You have made the Goid coin gods happy.
Oh gosh, yeah. I can honestly tell you now, I would use that. I have absolutely no problem with using that, mate. Once we've worked out how to, you will hear that at the beginning of each of these shows. I guarantee it.
And also, Mitch, feel free to go ahead and spread the good word of Goid coin.
Goid coin, the one thing that could save you in this real nasty world.
We don't monopolize the true vaccine. We're not Pfizer or Bill Gates, damn it.
Yeah, look, if you're talking about Pfizer, Moderna, especially Johnson & Johnson, and then Sinovac, you're talking seawater in a jar, because that is all it is. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say kale and fish poop.
All right. Well, we're coming up to 2 hours, so I'm going to end it here. I would like to thank everybody for coming on and listening to us, Natter and Rabbit. We are planning on doing less political, more social commentary of things. We're just going to be talking crap at least once a week. So if two idiots nerding out entertain you, you are welcome to come along and listen to us nerd out. Does that sound about right to you, Doku?
Sounds good to me. And maybe one day we'll actually decide to do a monthly anime review. We'll pick something random.
Yeah, yeah. Hell, let's not actually call it anime review. Let's just call it a monthly review of who knows what. Because let's be fair, it will be a who knows what, won't it?
Actually, no, I'm perfectly fine with that. We'll have we have our B.R.B, our banters, rants, and bullshit. So we'll have we'll come up with something random review.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? Let's just call it random review.
It works for me. RR.
It works. Well then, we're not stealing his stick. And in all fairness, if Nerd has a problem with it, I invite him to come along. I think it could just be amusing and weird. And we are not getting rid of all the anime, you hobbit fucker. Okay? Just pointing this out. All right, guys. I'll speak to you all later. Bye bye, everybody.
Later, everybody.